Good morning, all you wonderful people. We're looking at Hope in the Dark, day 2, and the subject is listen. So from the time I was young, I battled with night blindness, and it's difficult to navigate your way in the dark when you can't see. So I would often listen to Connie's voice and allow him to direct me and put my full trust in him, knowing that he's not going to allow me to injure myself. And as I was preparing this morning, I thought about that and how that voice in the dark is like a hope in the dark. And Jesus is like that voice in the dark. But do you have the ability to listen well? I know it's something that I really struggle with. When we engage in conversation, we get totally distracted or we're multitasking. Roy T. Bennett says that the greatest problem with communication is that we don't listen to understand. We often listen just to reply. We read about a prophet called Habakkuk, and Habakkuk knew how to ask difficult questions from God. And we read about one of such questions where he says, "How long shall I cry for help, and you will not hear?" He makes that accusation against God. God certainly doesn't have any problem with us asking difficult questions today, and I encourage you to do so. But we need to be like Habakkuk. In chapter 2, he realized that there was a time for listening. And he says, "I will take my stand at my watchpoint and station myself on the tower and look out to see what he will say to me and what I will answer concerning my complaint." You see, Habakkuk knew that he not only had to position himself to hear God, but he also had to take the time to hear God. And those are two keys we can learn from his life. Psalm 46 verse 10, a famous scripture: "Be still and know that I am God." And in case you haven't noticed, there's a comma after "be still," which places greater emphasis on that particular sentence. Be still and know that I'm God. He is God this morning. He is a creator of the heavens and earth, and he wants to hear your voice lifted up to him in prayer. Are you willing to listen, even though the answers may be something that we may not want to hear? I know in my life that when I've trusted him and I've asked difficult questions of him, sometimes his answers haven't been what I wanted to hear. But looking back now, I'm so thankful that he didn't give me what I asked for. In this time that we're living in, there is so many voices. And I found myself being totally distracted with some of those voices, particularly the voices of social media. It's like information overload. And Joseph Ruff says the following, that once capacity is surpassed, additional information becomes noise and results in a decrease in information processing and decision quality. Is there too much noise going on in your head this morning? See, John 10 verse 27 says that my sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. Sometimes we can't hear because there's too much noise going on. In closing, I want to just tell you a little bit of a story about a sheep called Shrek. And this sheep lived in a cave for 6 years. So for 6 years, he was away from the shepherd. And it landed up that he was carrying 6 times the regular weight of fleece that he should have as a sheep. All because he'd been away from the shepherd. And when he was found, he was relieved of this incredible weight. Are you like that sheep today that has been away from the shepherd? Won't you come back to him and listen to his voice? Ask God to give you the ability to hear like you've never heard his voice before. Have a super blessed day.